Hello viewers, welcome back to this episode of
The Deeper Truth.
You're listening with Becca,
Milani, and Tiana.
Today's conversation will include mentions of murder and bodily harm. So if you're sensitive, please click off. But if you're ready for twists and turns, stay tuned. This story, Macbeth by William Shakespeare, will be worth your while.
Today we will be talking about the mysterious murder of beloved King Duncan. As of now, nothing has been confirmed, so most of this is alleged information.
Now, let's dive into who is suspected of the murder, or others who could be closely related to the crime. The media is trying to portray Malcolm and Donna being King Duncan's own two sons as the main suspects, since they would gain the most out of Duncan's death. They were also seen fleeing the country once the news of the murder broke out.
But did they flee out of guilt or possibly out of fear?
Why would they leave out of fear? Clearly they look guilty, like they had something to hide.
The theory that they fled out of fear from the actual murderer of their father. I don't think they did it themselves. Why would they flee after killing their father if they had so much to gain? I think it was someone else trying to pin it on them because they would have had the most motive. I also think there's another very real suspect that we should be discussing.
Who could that suspect possibly be?
The murder was done in the Macbeth castle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so why are suspicions not raised about the Macbeths? Where were they when this all happened?
Exactly. I think it would be very convenient for Macbeth since the first murder took place in his house, where he would have had the most access. Even though King Duncan's son's motives are more obvious, Macbeth's motives are still there.
To piggyback off of that, there has been another more recent murder. Banquo, Thane of Lochburn. He was also very close to Macbeth.
If I'm remembering correctly, they were trusted friends and fellow generals. If anyone were to see through Macbeth's possible lies, it would be his best friend.
It is said to be seen of Macbeth's unusual outburst to the news of King Duncan's death.
What happened? How did he react?
People who were there say Macbeth reacted very strongly. He seemed shocked and upset when the body was discovered.
Some described it as grief, but others thought it felt rushed, almost like he was trying to prove how loyal he was.
There were reports that Macbeth acted out of anger and emotion rather than stopping to think.
That makes sense, since Duncan and Macbeth were closely related and clearly trusted each other. But that reaction raised questions because his response made it harder for anyone to explain what really happened that night.
Especially since emotions were high and the scene quickly turned chaotic.
And chaos can hide details that matter.
So let's take a step back and talk about the people involved, starting with Macbeth.
Before the murder, Macbeth was seen as a loyal general and someone the king trusted enough to stay in his home.
People respected him. There were no public signs that anyone suspected him before that night.
Lady Macbeth also plays a role here. Servants described her as strong-minded and observant. Some even said she seemed calmer than expected after the news broke out.
Then there's Banquo, Macbeth's close friend and fellow soldier. After Duncan's death, people noticed Banquo became distant and cautious, almost as if he knew someone he knew personally was behind this.
Banquo's behavior makes you wonder, was he noticing something that the rest of us couldn't see? Could he have sensed danger coming from someone close to him?
Some witnesses say Banquo started keeping to himself and paying extra attention to Macbeth. People thought he was cautious, maybe even suspicious.
And that's where the questions about Macbeth start to grow. Observers noticed small details, what he said, where he went, and how he acted in private versus in public.
Let's step into a short interview with Macbeth and see how he might explain his actions.
I couldn't believe this all happened under my watch. I'm loyal to a fault. These deaths have shaken everyone, and I can only act to keep this castle safe and hope that the truth comes out soon.
Even his words can be interpreted in different ways. People are asking if he is hiding something, or is he truly loyal?
And thinking about what ifs, what if Malcolm and Donna hadn't fled? Would suspicion have stayed with them instead, or would it have been pointed to someone else?
Or what if Banquo had confronted someone he suspected? That could have changed the way events unfolded, or made things even more dangerous.
Every choice and reaction after the murder seemed to shift the story. And the more we examine, the harder it is to know what really happened.
That's the mystery here. Trust, motives, and relationships are all tangled together. Even small details could hold the key to the truth.
That's our look into the suspicious events following King Duncan's death.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of The
Deeper truth.
Keep questioning, stay curious, and remember, what seems obvious might not be the whole story.
Until next time, listeners, watch closely, think carefully, and keep your mind sharp.